Díagwit agus casca hana díobh go léir. So I'm going to tell you one of the many stories I have about my narcissistic parent. This one really takes the cake. So my husband's then boyfriend and I were living in Ballinsloe in this lovely townhouse. My mother used to come in quite often to visit us because she only lived about 20 minutes away. My husband found it quite annoying because he hates her. Anyway, my boyfriend, now husband, was in college. So he didn't have a job, and I had just finished college and I didn't have a job, and I was also heavily pregnant, so I couldn't really work. But we were okay. We're on social welfare and we were doing okay. You know, we could afford food, a roof over our heads. We weren't worried. We were already buying baby stuff and things like that. But at the same time, my mum was also buying us baby stuff, you know. Anytime she went into Tesco, she'd buy some baby grows and stuff like that, being a doting grandparent and blah, blah, blah. Classic love bombing tactic for any of you guys who know what a narcissistic parent is like. But she's fooled me 1,000 times. Like, I honestly thought it's because she couldn't wait for me to have the baby. But anyway, moving on. She picked me up one day because me and her were going to go shopping in Tesco. We were going to pick some groceries and stuff. And on the way back, she says to me, look, Sean, my stepdad, he's still living with my mum at that moment, and they weren't married anymore, they weren't together anymore, but he was still living in the house, and she was wanting to apply for mortgage supplement, and but they couldn't apply for it if he was still living there. So she asked me if I could put my stepdad's name down on our social welfare as living in our house so that she can get the mortgage supplement. I said, I'm so sorry, I can't help you because I can't do that, or else I won't be able to get rent supplement. And she was all like, oh, you don't care about your little brother, you want him to starve and all. And I was like, you do realise I'm having a baby, right? And I need to afford baby stuff, and you know, you're acting as if you don't care about your grandchild. And she was all like, you didn't even have your grandchild yet, at least Dara is here, and you know, he's alive and he's the one who needs to be fed. So anyway, I had put my foot down, which is what I normally don't do. I normally give in a lot with her. I normally do, but once I got pregnant, my maternal instincts kicked in and I was not going to put anyone before that baby. So she got pissed when she realised she couldn't change my mind, and she pulled over on the side of the road and kicked me out of the car. Just to add, I had symphysis pubis dysfunction when I was pregnant, so walking was horrendous because my hips kept on going out of place, and I had to wear this belt to keep my hips in place. And she knew this. Oh, she knew what she was doing. I didn't complain though. I didn't want to give her the satisfaction. So I walked home, and I got home, got in the door. My husband was absolutely, he was livid. As soon as I got in the door, I got a call from my auntie. And my auntie is just as bad as my mother to be. She rang me up saying, oh, you know, your mother's really upset. She wants me to tell you that she wants all the baby stuff back that she got you. And I was like, fine, I don't want it anyway. And she was like, she's going to pick it up later on today, so leave the bags outside the door. I was like, fine. So I did. She comes to collect the stuff, blah, blah, blah. She went on her way. Later on, my auntie calls me again. And she's like, where's the rest of the stuff? Where's the teddy bear? I'm like, what teddy bear? What are you talking about? She was like, there was a teddy bear, and there was also some nappies and more baby clothes. You can give all the stuff back. Oh, and there was also some tea towels that she bought you in pennies. Tea towels. I said, look, the only baby stuff I have left here are the things I bought, and I'm not giving her those. And I had receipts, so go suck it. This went on for days, guys. Like, she kept on turning up at the door asking for the tea towels. So we had no choice. I said to my husband, we have to move. We literally had to pack up our things, find a place far away from her. So we found a place in June. We didn't tell her where we were going, so that anytime she was going to the door, she would realise we weren't there. Once we had moved, I think it was about a month later, she started ringing me up again saying, you moved and you didn't even tell me. And I was like, why would I tell you? Then she kept on begging to know where I lived, and I was like, I'm not telling you. And then I hung up, blocked her off everything, blah, blah, blah. Then a few months later, she got in touch with my husband and said she wants to talk and meet up. Now, my husband said absolutely not, but because I'm constantly taking her back in and falling for her shite, I was like, fine. But I said, in public, you're not coming to the house. And we ended up starting another argument because she wanted to come to the fucking house. I put my foot down. She is not knowing where I live. So eventually we were able to come to a decision to meet at a little cafe in the middle of town. I tried to get her to apologise. I told her, look, if you apologise, then you're fine. I'll take you back in and we can start talking again. And she apologised. Let's just say, big mistake, but that comes later, guys. Because this happened years ago, and trust me, there's years of abuse after that. It was the worst mistake I've ever made. Oh, and did I mention that when I had the baby and when I was in the hospital, she came in to the hospital into my room and started acting like the doting grandmother and went up to the baby and was like, oh, she's so beautiful. And my best friend was standing there. She was like, Becky, no, I was exhausted. I actually literally fell asleep with food in my mouth at one stage, and I was extremely anemic. I lost a lot of blood, and I was like, Abby, could you? I don't have the strength. And she was like, Anne, I want you to leave. She goes, you can't tell me what to do. And she goes, Becky, tell her, tell her she can't tell me what to do. And I was like, okay, fine. Abby, you can't tell her what to do. I'm telling her what to do. Get out. Now, when I say I never stand up for myself with this woman, because I really don't, but that day I just had enough. Of course, she started acting like the victim. Can't believe you would do this to me. You would do this to Roisin. You would, your new baby, keeping their grandmother out of her life. And I'm like, oh, trust me, I think she's better off without you. And actually, right now she is. She's actually 12 years old now. And we're in no contact again. And my kids can't stand her. They don't miss her at all. It's really handy, actually, for me to feel that way, honestly. But the reason why I'm telling you this story is because that's the first time my husband actually saw her true colours. Before, he just didn't like her very much. I have another amazing story that happened recently, but I'll keep that for a different day. I need to do more of these story times. It's kind of fun. Anyway, Slán.